Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time if you're brand new here. Thank you so much for joining me today for a pick a card reading that is a good old-fashioned message from your higher self, what your higher self wants you to know most right now to be the most helpful for you in this time. So, pretty straightforward, short and sweet. Let's pick our pile leaders to choose our piles with, so calling on spirit and of course our higher selves. For our highest, best good, please guide us to the right cards that will show us our piles for our messages today. Thank you. Okay, there is pile 1. I'll choose this one for pile 2. And pile 3 today, I feel drawn to this one. Alright, and let's unveil the cards together. So for pile 1 over here on the left, your leader today is the card of the Creatress with the tagline of uninspired versus creative. Very beautiful. For pile 2 today, oopsie, sorry. Hold on one second. For pile 2 today, your pile leader is support with the keyword of discouraged versus encouraged. And last but not least, for our pile number 3 today, your pile leader is unveiling with the keywords of clouded versus radiant. So of course, as I always say, you're welcome to pause right now if you need more time to decide what pile you are most drawn to. If you're new to pick a card readings, I'll guide you through my little, what I call, meditative moment to help you choose. So close your eyes. Take in a deep, cleansing breath. Imagine light filling your lungs as you do so, and hold it for just a few moments. And then when you breathe it back out again, open your eyes, and where are your eyes drawn most first? What feels right in your gut? You'll kind of feel it down in your stomach, or kind of in your heart is what I say. And that is the pile I recommend that you choose. But whatever your method, of course, you can drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment to find the timestamps for the piles. Click on the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our little chat about a message from your higher self. Toodaloo. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a message from your higher self about what you need to know most right now. And of course, as you can recall, your pile leader was the beautiful Creatress with the tagline of uninspired versus creative. So, to begin our reading, we'll set your pile leader to the left as we usually do. And then I actually want to start again today with tarot and then move to oracle cards later. So, beginning with our beautiful Ethereal Visions deck. Let's shuffle the cards and hear more about the situation at hand that your higher self wants to talk to you about. So, channeling pile 1 higher self collectively. Thank you, 5 cards. Okay, for sure that one. And this one says to me number 5. Okay, so what's going on? First card, we have the beautiful Page of Wands reversed. Okay, so I think to begin, and I always call the first card the inciting incident of my particular spread I like to use. The Page of Wands reversed in an inciting incident position tends to tell me that there's some situation in your life right now where you're not quite sure where to go. You're not quite sure what direction to take. You can almost kind of see it like this figure here. She is looking off in the distance and she's in quite a barren area. Very deserty. Looks like there's a lot of rock, not a lot of vegetation and life. It's not very fertile. She's looking off and she's like, well, how do I navigate this? Where do I go? And especially with it being reversed pile 1, that is an especial sign to me that your higher self is saying, okay, we need to figure out where we're going. And especially being a Wands card, it's about fire. And fire in tarot represents our ambitions, our passions, our willpower. Where do we want to direct our energy? Okay. Our creative spirit. Sometimes it can mean creativity. So maybe there's a creative project you're kind of wondering what to do with recently, or you have been, I should say. It could be that maybe there's some ambition you have in mind, a goal or a dream, be it career or not. And you're like, I just don't know what next step to take, you know? And it's interesting too, because when you look at your pile leader here, pile 1, the Creatress, she's literally holding it kind of almost looks like an incense bowl. I'm not sure exactly what you would call that, but to me it almost looks like an incense bowl, and it's like she's smoke scrying, like she's looking at the flames, the tendrils of smoke to figure out, okay, you know, speaking of flames, like wands, right? Looking at them and trying to figure out, okay, where do I go in the future with this? What do I do? And especially also her name meaning uninspired versus creative. You know, not only does that mean probably you're creative people, pile 1, but that this is something to do with some thing that invokes your creativity as a part of the fire that fuels it. Okay. So that was just the first card. Then we have the Artist. Okay, speaking of creativity, pile 1, this is a very special card in this particular deck. You don't normally see this in most tarot decks as a major arcana, but the Artist of the Ethereal Visions, he put himself here as the Artist. I think Matt Hughes is his name. But that's literally what it means, artist. So I don't know if any of you are like a Bob Ross type. I don't know if any of you like tend to paint, or he's specifically drawing in this picture looking off at that oak tree. But yeah, definitely a creative project here is like across the board I'm hearing. And you know, some of you might hear creative project and go like, oh, well, I'm not a very creative person. I don't paint, I don't draw, I don't make music, etc. But it could also mean that, you know, whatever creativity means to you, because even an engineer has to be very creative, right? And you think, you know, oh, an engineer is someone who's very technical, very logic-oriented, but that takes creativity as well. So anything in your life that requires expressing that muscle in your brain of thinking outside the box, this is what your higher self wants to talk to you about. Then we have the Five of Swords reversed as the heart of the matter. Overcoming a conflict. Overcoming an argument of some sort. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Cups. We've got some water energy now. The Knight of Cups is taking action in which the ways that we follow our emotions in our heart. Could also represent someone who embodies those values, just like the Page of Wands reversed embodied your values or who you are right now at this point, right, pile 1? And last but not least, we have Temperance reversed. More water, specifically. Look at that. Temperance reversed means an outcome of something out of balance, something out of moderation. Interesting how we move from fire, fire, air, water, water. So let me look over your cards here in totality, pile 1. I won't repeat too ad nauseum. Definitely some sort of creative project your higher self wants to talk about. So we won't go over that again. But there's new energy with the Five of Swords reversed. It's almost like it's either like an argument you get into with yourself a lot regarding your creative projects, or it's an argument you get into with other people about your creative projects, because the Five of Swords being a sword suit, which is air, means communication or like things done with the mind, okay? Maybe it's even like an internal battle with yourself, as I was saying, not just the way you talk to yourself, but an inner struggle. And it being reversed, it's almost like you're unable to get over it. You're unable to move past this inner struggle. Maybe it's even like telling yourself, oh, I'm not good enough, or my projects aren't good enough, you know, oh, my art is crap, or my engineering is crap, or like, you know, insert the thing that you're very passionate about here. But what your higher self is saying, pile 1, is that that's leading you on a path towards an imbalance. That's why Temperance reversed is the outcome. And what your higher self wants you to do in the near future is to follow your heart a little bit more, to go with the flow. Hence, you know, cups are water, right? Like the Knight of Cups. He's the Knight of Water. And it's like, if you follow this path, you can change that temperance, that imbalance, and find more harmony and more peace in your life. Okay? Things can even maybe flow more, because even the flow of the water between the cups in her hands here almost reminds me of the flow of the smoke in the Creatress imagery. Okay, so your higher self, just to summarize so far, pile 1, be it inner conflict with yourself or conflicts you have with others regarding your ambitions or your creative projects, your higher self wants you to help resolve that today by following your heart. But of course, we also have different cards to bring into the mix with the oracle cards we're going to draw And I have, one of the decks I already have in mind. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get that card, but we'll see. We'll see. In the Lantern Oracle, it's called, actually, let's draw that now. This deck right here, there's one called Creative Power. I'm going to laugh if you get it, but higher self, what would you like to say to them in terms of advice on, you know, breaking past that inner conflict, or maybe if they're having conflicts with others, like, I mean, it might even be, you know, pile one, you voiced this desire or passion of yours and you found conflict with others, like maybe other people have told you, oh, that's not good enough, or oh, that's not a good idea. That could be also another thing that your higher self really wants to help you grow past or get through. We'll reveal that in a moment. We're going to draw your other oracle cards as well. I also have your Citadel Oracle here. Okay. Oh boy, well that was, it looks like 3 cards. Oh man, I don't know if I could fit that many cards on the screen. That's like 6 of them. You know what, I apologize, pile one. I'm gonna shuffle this one more time. Alright, higher self, I can't take 6, I apologize. Can you just give me about 1 or 2, please, for the Citadel Oracle? Okay, thank you. 1 or 2. Okay, the Diviner. Which is funny because I just talked about smoke scrying here with your Creatress, right, pile 1? That's exactly what it is, divination. We've got fire again, too, as the alchemical element. And it even looks, oh, look at that, it even looks like smoke in the background here, pile 1. Divine timing and evaluation. Yeah, it's like evaluating the quality of your projects. Or 2, there might be an element as well. And specifically why I drew this card, pile 1, was I was asking your higher self in my mind, give me a card that represents you as an archetype, since this is an archetypes deck. So they're representing themselves, or I should say you, as a diviner. Okay, someone who's trying to tell you something about the future. We already had, like I said, that imagery with your Creatress too. So I almost wonder if this is like a part of your intuitive self. There's something in the future they want to give you a heads up on. Like, I want to tell you about this divine timing. I want to tell you about this thing coming your way, okay? So there's a little bit of a future element here, too. And then last but not least, we have the Surrender deck. And then we'll, of course, reveal your Lantern Oracle. So let's shuffle this one, too. Okay, that one for sure. Just flopped out. We'll take it. Okay, pile 1. Let's see. Will we get Creative Power? No, we did not. Okay, so it didn't get the card that I expected you to get. But this one is also beautiful because it's kind of like Creative Power, because that particular card in this deck is of a pregnant woman. This one is almost kind of like pregnancy as well, with the life that's growing in the womb of this older woman, right? 43, inner life. Your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. Yes. So once again, and I'm sorry it's so repetitive in this particular message, pile 1, but there's so many repeated messages about you need to cultivate your passions and your talents and the things that you're ambitious or, you know, excited about. What gets you out of bed every day? What gets you excited to live life in terms of your hobbies and in terms of the things that you create? Especially, once again, like I said, looking at that imagery of like, it's almost like it's like you're creating something, an inner life here. It's like a pregnancy of some sort, but in a metaphorical way. And your inner life, yeah, is a garden to be cultivated. You know, I almost wonder, too, if maybe there's some projects or hobbies that you've left to the side, possibly maybe due to, like, mental health. Like, I know sometimes when we're depressed, you know, we kind of lose touch with things. We're like, oh, you know, I don't have the motivation for that anymore. But, you know, sometimes, pile 1, creative projects can actually make you get out of a funk. Because you can look at it and say, wow, look at this beautiful thing I created. And sometimes that can inspire you to, of course, that can't, you know, 100% cure depression, but there is such a thing as like art therapy, right? You know, doing things like that, you know, viewing art, making art, or it could be like music, writing, whatever speaks to your soul most is, you know, of course, what your higher self would tell you to do. But yes, there's something about your creative projects they really want you to cultivate, because of something in the future that's coming your way, like the Diviner says. And then your Surrender card is Surrender Frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. Maybe you're frustrated about something too. Maybe you've had writer's block, or I don't know what the term is for other particular hobbies or passions. Artist block? Is that a term? Feel free to weigh down in the comments down below if that is a thing. I'm not as familiar with like painting, drawing terms because I'm not the best at art. I'm more of a writer. That's what I'm familiar with is like writer's block. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you've had like a block or you're frustrated. Maybe it's part of like that argument we were talking about earlier with, maybe like somebody's been arguing with you about your projects, or you've been arguing with yourself, like, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't put this out there. Things like that. And I do want to draw more cards here for you, pile 1, but still focusing on the surrender frustration. So that is one piece of advice. We talked about the advice of, keep cultivating your passions with inner life here, okay? Inner life is a garden to be cultivated. Maybe even through meditation, because that's what she's doing in this picture, right? She's meditating. Maybe meditating is some of the answer towards breaking through any blocks you have right now, but also surrender frustration. Whatever you're frustrated about with your projects, pile 1, please let go of that frustration. Even if it's something like, I almost wonder if you have perfectionism tendencies. Like maybe you're the type of person where you have a hard time putting anything out there until you think it's like 100% perfect, but then sometimes you struggle with getting anything out there because you feel like nothing ever is, which, I 100% get that, pile 1. I've been that way myself with different things, but yeah, it's like your higher self is like, please. The key to resolving this block is letting go of that frustration. Maybe even walking away for just a little bit, like it says, regroup, take a breath, and then walk back towards it. Okay, so whenever you are finding yourself frustrated, take a breath, meditate a little bit, walk away from it, and then return back to the creative project or the passion that you're working on. But I do want to draw a few more cards. I'm actually going to do something special for you today, pile 1. I want to draw another Citadel Oracle as a final advice card for you, and then I want to ask what they mean about the future divining, like the thing that they're trying to give you a heads up about with this, because I feel like intuitively, pile 1, there's some sort of event coming related to this project of yours. It's like they want to give you a heads up, or they want to encourage you to keep going with something because it's like the door to that event or that thing going well. Like, I'm really unfamiliar with, like, artist terms in terms of, like, getting, like, painting into a gallery, for example, or, like I said, I'm more familiar with writing, so maybe I'll use writing as an example, but, it's almost like, the thing I'm thinking about intuitively is almost like, say you were writing a book, and you're really frustrated with it, but you're technically done with it, and you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to send this off to an agent to, or an editor to get this. I suppose you would do an agent first to get this looked at because I feel like it's not perfect enough, but it's almost like a situation where your higher self is saying, please send it off because there's something good coming out of it with the divination. But let's draw some other cards to be sure. So we're drawing this card as I asked your higher self, what archetype do they want you to fulfill in terms of advice? So you received... Look at that, pile 1. Remember what I just told you? So the thief, which looks kind of bad on the surface because you think, oh, thief, bad thing, right? But it says seizing the moment. Also selfishness, but seizing the moment makes me think of, like I just said, don't hesitate to submit something. Don't hesitate to put that thing out there. Like just what I said with the book example. There's some sort of moment they want you to seize. Just like a thief would see an opportunity in someone's pocket, right? Interesting how the synchronicities come up. Like, I'll say something intuitively, and then a card will come out and be like, boop, there's that thing you were just talking about. So I'm going to ask a little bit more about the divination thing. Like, what is it about this opportunity or this seizing the moment they want you to do? You need to take an opportunity. And even if you're frustrated and you don't think this particular thing is good enough, please push it through and publish it or put it out there anyways. Okay. So higher self of pile 1. Could you give me maybe 3 cards? What are you trying to show them with the diviner card? Like, what are you trying to help them divine in terms of the divine timing, the event coming forward? What is that all about? All right, thank you, higher self of pile 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, look at that, pile 1. Look at that. That's beautiful. We have the King of Wands. He's the master of creativity and courage and passion. He's literally the king of the wand suit. Beautiful. I'll talk about what that means in a second. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. And then we have the Two of Cups, so a relationship. I wonder if you're going to meet someone that's substantial to your, whatever this passion project is. Or this thing that you're passionate about is. And then the Five of Pentacles reversed. Look at that, pile one. You know what that means? That means overcoming hardship, especially in terms of finances or money. I'm telling you, there's some situation that your, that your higher self is really just saying, please pay attention to, pile one, where you need to seize an opportunity, seize the moment regarding something to do with a relationship. I think what it means having the King of Wands here, being the master of creativity and courage and things like that, ambitions related to the fire element of his suit, it's someone who is like at the top of their game in the area or field that your project is in, that you can create a relationship with, or you can connect with, maybe even network is, I guess, the word you would use. And that's going to open doors to overcoming hardship, especially regarding money. Especially like maybe you've been struggling to like sell an art that you have or you do, or sell like I said with the book example, like find an agent. Like that King of Wands in that example would be like an agent. And specifically I would look for a masculine one, because the King of Wands technically is masculine energy. So please, please, please look out for this, because your higher self is like, this would be fantastic. It would be lucrative. Because, I mean, yeah, not only have that Five of Pentacles reversed, but remember the thief when I said, you know, it's like a thief looks for opportunity. They look for in someone's pocket, you know. That's why it says seize the moment. And usually they look for money, right? That's what they're looking for. Something to sell, or they're looking for a coin, whatever. There's something lucrative out of it. So please, 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 please. If you take anything away from this reading today, pile one, please keep going with this passion. As hard as it is, as thankless as maybe it feels like, oh, right now, like, you're not getting a lot back from the universe, and it's like, oh, it's all for naught. I feel like this is a waste. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like, oh, man, you know, no one's recognizing my talent. You know, do I even have talent? Those self-doubt type feelings, I know it's really hard, but please, there's something coming along that you have to look out for. So keep creating and look out for a situation with someone that you can maybe network with, or you have a relationship with, that is that King of Wands. A master of his art, or is courageous, ambitious, things like that, because that will bring you prosperity. And that's why your higher self wants to talk to you about this today. And even looking back at your Temperance as the outcome, well, then that would turn the Temperance card right side up, right? Which means moderation and balance. More balance in your life, okay? Maybe literally it means, as a pun, like financial balance. Although Temperance usually doesn't necessarily mean money, but that Five of Pentacles did pop up, so beautiful. So your higher self wants to give you a heads up today, pile one. They're like, hey, wait a minute, look out for this opportunity. Don't get frustrated. I know, as hard as it is, you're on the right path. You just have to keep following your heart. Remember that Knight of Cups? He takes action with his heart. Because that's what knights do in tarot. They take action. They move towards things. So please keep taking action, and I promise it will pay off. Okay, so that is your reading for today, pile one. Well, congrats on the future success. It seems like what your higher self is talking to you about today. Once again, I'm sorry about your frustration so far. I'm sorry it's been so disheartening, but, you know, they're really reassuring you there's something good coming along. So if you liked the reading, if it resonated, please like the video down below. Please comment down below your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. As I always say, that just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile one. Hello there, my wonderful pile number two. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a message from your higher self. And of course, as you can recall, you chose the beautiful pile with the card of support. The keywords discouraged versus encouraged. So, to begin your reading, let's set your pile leader off to the left. And we're going to start with tarot today instead of oracle. So, connecting with your higher self. Higher self, collectively, pile two. Could you please give us around 5 cards that explains more about the situation at hand that you want to talk to them about today? What do they need to know? Okay, thank you. And let's see. Let's do this one right here, number 5. Excuse me. I apologize in advance. My voice is, once again, a little allergy scratchy today. So let's see your first card, pile 2. Ooh, 3 of Swords. Okay, so this is what I call the inciting incident card of your reading, being the first card in the spread I like to use. In pile 2, what that means is your higher self wants to talk to you today about some sort of pain that you've been going through, because that's what the 3 of Swords represents, a pain of some sort. You can even kind of see, it's like sword stabbing through a heart, kind of self-explanatory, right? So a pain of some sort. Uh-oh. That's no fun, pile 2. So let's get more context. Next card is the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, so it's possible, pile 2, that because the Knight of Cups reversed tends to represent taking action with our heart or with our feelings. Like letting our heart guide our way, but reversed, it's either not following our heart enough, or we followed our heart and it kind of got us in some trouble. Sometimes it can even mean romantic related things, or, I tend to read tarot a little bit more platonically. I don't always read it romantically. I kind of read it for both. So it could be also maybe there was a really close relationship that was platonic, if not romantic, that you've been having some pain over, or something that had to do with following the heart. I'm a little inclined to say maybe something with a group of people, because you have the support card as the pile leader that you were drawn to intuitively. Well, let's keep going and see what else there is to say. The heart of the matter is, okay, justice reversed. And you know what that means is the heart of the matter, pile 2? Something was done to you or was done wrong that was not fair. And that's, I think, what is causing the pain. I don't know if you got screwed over recently, or sometimes it can mean legal problems. Maybe there's been some legal problems with justice reversed, but in general, it tends to represent that the core of what's going on is something has been unfair to you or someone, or potentially even a group of people. So that's never fun, pile 2. My condolences if so, but especially too, because I feel like you were really enthusiastic with like the Knight of Cups. You thought something was going to work out and it just didn't. Then we have, a 2 of Cups reversed. You have quite a repetitive reading here, pile 2, but the 2 of Cups reversed usually means disharmony in a relationship, or a relationship broken. Okay, so definitely, I think for most of you, this is about your relationship with somebody. So either romantic or platonic. And then your last card here is interesting. You've got the 9 of Pentacles, though, as the outcome, pile 2. And how odd that comes at the very end, when after all these pain, relationship, injustice cards, all of a sudden, boom, we have an Earth card. Pentacles represents Earth in tarot, which represents material things, so money, career. But in general, what the 9 of Pentacles represents, and is a very positive outcome, pile 2, is getting out what you put into something. Reaping the fruits of your labor, just like she's enjoying the grapes of the vineyard that she's been growing, okay? So there's something your higher self wants to talk to you about today with your relationships with other people or one particular person. Every single one of you watching this, of course, is going to be different. Like I said, it could be a romantic partner that you have or had, past tense. It could be a friend, same thing, have or had. Could be a group of people, but it's something along those lines. And there's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of, you tried to follow your heart, maybe it blew up in your face, there's been injustice, things like that. Or it's a group or person that you weren't able to follow your heart with. It could be another way that the Knight of Cups reverse represents itself. And then it's, I think because this is the future card here, near future, the 2 of Cups, I think you almost kind of see something coming. Especially if something has been, you've already seen the injustice, pile 2, you kind of already know this relationship or this group of people, like, it might not work out. But then we have that little glimmer of hope at the end here with the 9 of Pentacles. You're still going to get out of this situation what you put in, despite all the pain and the injustice and the unfairness that you have been through. So your higher self reading today, what I want to summarize, of course we have other cards to pull as well, is your higher self saying, I know that you've been through a lot with this person or group recently. I know. But there is a reward in the end that you might not expect. There's a silver lining. And so our job today, pile 2, is figuring out what's the silver lining, right? That's the question you're probably asking. Well, what the heck good can come out of this? And that's what we're going to answer. Okay, so let's move on to your Citadel Oracle here. And then we also have some other Oracle cards to pull. I think... yeah, let's pull your Oracle cards first, and then I will pull some extra tarot cards at the end, because I also want to see more about the reward or the blessing coming. Let's do Citadel Oracle first. Okay, this one is like sideways, and it says like pick me. So we're going to take the sideways one. And then I'm also going to take a second one. And then we also have the Surrender deck today. There we go. And then last but not least, we have the very beautiful, my favorite Oracle deck in the whole wide world, the Lantern Oracle. If any of you are interested in Oracle decks, I highly recommend this deck. Okay, for sure that one is saying, pick me. Look how far it was sticking out. Okay, so pile 2. Let's first look at the first Citadel Oracle card. Set these down here for a moment. So the first Citadel Oracle card here is, what I asked is for your higher self to represent itself as an archetype. And we have the Brawler with the element of water. And, you know, Brawler, of course, you know, is a fighter. They're literally wrapping their hands like they're a pugilist, like they're fighting, boxing. Lack of empathy and confrontation. Did you get... I mean, I know this is supposed to represent your higher self, pile 2, but did you get in a fight recently with somebody? With someone who had a lack of empathy? There's a confrontation of some sort? But this is supposed to represent your higher self, in which case it's like they're the fighter. It's like they're saying, I wish I could confront, or I wish you could confront this injustice done to you and what's going on. And then the second card is I asked them, you know, what's the archetype that they want you to represent as a piece of advice? And you received the Weaver. We have water again. I don't know if you're a water sign, pile 2. You did have the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups earlier with water too. But the Weaver, rediscovery and transition. There's something about the situation that they want you to look back on, pile 2, that is going to be a realization that's going to help you move on from the pain and the injustice. It's like an opening of an eye. And them being the Brawler, your higher self, or I should say you being the Brawler, because it is you, right, at, you know, higher self level, it's like they want you to fight. They want you to fight for this. They want you to discover, as hard as it might be to look back at something, there's something you're not realizing that would help you see it all the more clear. Because I almost wonder if you're self-blaming for what happened, and there's an aspect of it that they want you to see where you'd realize it was either more out of your hands than you thought, or it's like something along those lines. It's like a realignment of the truth that you think is the truth now. Okay, let's look at your Lantern Oracle. We have voice. Oh... Number 30, voice. You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. Is that why they're the Brawler, pile 2? Is that why they want to fight? Okay, I'm just going to say this, pile 2. I don't know if some of you actually have gone through something that literally... what's the best way to put it? I get the feeling that for a lot of you, there's something that you're supposed to speak out about, even though you're afraid to. And I think especially with justice reversed being the heart of the matter, we saw that earlier here. I don't know if there's something like if you say something, like somebody could go to jail. Or it's like if you say something, then it will like right the justice back in your favor. It's like being silent is part of the injustice. Like they're saying you have the right to speak out. You have the right to say what happened to you. even if it's as small as, like maybe there was a misunderstanding, like just one example I'm thinking of, pile 2, and this might not apply to all of you, but say for an example, you were in a friend group or a group of people and something went wrong and someone blamed you, and then so the whole group of people thinks that you're the one at fault because you got painted in the wrong way, tarred with the wrong brush, right? And so it's like, if you were to speak up instead of running away in fear of like, oh, I just don't want to confront this, I just don't want to deal with this anymore, it's like something that it'll help you get justice, and also it'll help people realize, like, maybe if there was someone who said something bad about you, like painted you with the wrong brush, like it'll save them from them too. Because if they did it once to you, like that bad person, say, like, just if that's what applies to your particular situation, they can do it again to other people, right? So your higher self is saying, like, please, please, please take up space. Please voice your opinion. Please voice your truth with this, because there's something really important with that. Okay. And I didn't forget about the silver lining with the 9 of Pentacles. We will talk about that. And then your surrender card is, surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take pressure off of and simultaneously nurture you. Part of it too, pile 2, is your higher self wants to receive support and love. They want you to also speak up, because you can look at the polar bears, they got their mouths open, right? You don't have to bear the sadness and the pain of this alone. And part of you opening up and saying something about what happened will open you up to that support and love, so you don't feel like you have to shoulder everything alone. You don't feel like you have to go through everything alone. Even if you feel like it would be like a really bad idea to really, say if it was someone that screwed you over and you're like, oh, it might be a really bad idea for me to come out and say it, at least open up to other people in terms of being emotionally vulnerable about what you went through. Someone you trust, obviously. Because there's some benefit that your pile leader, your higher self, that's what I meant to say. It's like, that's really valuable for you to do that. And I think, too, the brawler is like, it's almost your higher self is mad for you. Like, in a karmic justice way. It's like they're upset for you. They're like, why? Like, I don't want myself to be trampled on like that. To be used or thrown out like that. Like, that's what I'm hearing for you, pile 2. So please, 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 please. I won't repeat it too much more, but entertain the thought of speaking up about something. Apply that to your situation and being emotionally vulnerable, because there might be some more support and love coming in than you expect if you do. Okay. I think that's also part of the rediscovery of seeing it in a different way, is if you speak out about it or you talk to someone about it, your perspective will change and it'll help relieve some of the pain of what's going on with this relationship or this group. Okay. Beautiful reading. See, because even, I know we always talk about higher selves as, our higher self is, like they're the best version of us that's, completely, unmarried to ego and things like that. And they're very enlightened. And that's true, right? It's like your soul at its best expression, pile 2. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they can't feel angry for you when something was done wrong to you that shouldn't have been done. Hence why they're a brawler. Okay. It's like your higher self is wrapping their hands. They're like, man, I'm ready to punch, man. I'm ready to punch for myself, right? Which you should fight for yourself. Okay? So feel brave. And then I will ask the silver lining. Like I said, I did not forget that, pile 2. So let's ask about the silver lining. What's going on here? Let me shuffle the cards. So higher self of pile 2, can you tell me more about the silver lining? What's the benefit here, the fruit of their labor that they're going to get out of this situation that has just, seems like it's been kind of awful, let's be honest, right? Pile 2. That's no fun. Okay, we have this one. 2 and 3. Thank you, higher self of pile 2. What's the silver lining? Temperance reversed, imbalance, lack of moderation. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment. Water again, look at that. Temperance with the water. The Knight of Swords, taking action with our words, with our logic. Okay, And then we've got the Eight of Swords. Feeling mentally trapped in some way. Okay, I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to look over your cards here, pile 2, and we'll talk about what this means for the silver lining. The silver lining of this, pile 2, out of everything that's happened, is you're once again encouraged to speak out, because the Knight of Swords doesn't keep silent. The Knight of Swords, he is the action taker of air, which is, well, intelligence and logic, but also communication, okay? Your higher self just, keep speaking, all right. But it's also a silver lining of learning to stand up for yourself more. It's almost like the phrase that's coming to mind is like the truth will set you free, because the Eight of Swords is about feeling kind of trapped in some way, but it's oftentimes a trap that we have put ourselves in. It's like by staying silent, it's like trapping yourself when you don't have to feel that stuck. You can free yourself from the mental anguish and feeling alone and, whatever other bad emotions are associated with this particular situation for you. And then the Temperance reversed card is almost like something's out of balance now, hence why it's reversed. But in the silver lining, it's like knocking it back into balance here if you take these actions. And it's also, I feel like, a life lesson too in taking your power back. Once again, I'm drawn to the brawler. Taking your power back. When someone throws a punch at you, throwing the punch back instead of just taking it. So it's a silver lining in greater courage and greater inner strength. In learning that more, even. In freeing yourself mentally from things. In writing balance when the power to do so is within your own hands. Because that's another way you can talk about Temperance reversed is something out of balance, just like Justice reversed is something out of balance. So your higher self is saying you have the power. Please, please use it. And the truth will set you free. That's the phrase that keeps coming forward for this for you, pile 2. So what an intense reading, right? Once again, my condolences, pile 2. Like I said, this does not look like a fun time whatsoever. And of course all of your situations will be very different, but I can tell you this, every single one of you that this reading is resonating with, not a fun time. Okay, so please do self-care. Please take care of yourself. Please protect yourself, right? But after all of that is said and done, your higher self is really saying, please be vulnerable. Please speak. As I said, the truth will set you free. And that is your reading for today, my wonderful pile 2. So I hope you liked the reading. I hope it resonated and, of course, helped you. Or resonated with and helped you. There we go. I got the right words out. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day full of truth and comfort and support and love, of course. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a message from your higher self, what they want you to know most right now. And of course, as you can recall, your beautiful pile leader is Unveiling with Clouded versus Radiant. So let's set your pile leader off to the left here to begin. And I want to start today with tarot, and then we'll move to some oracle cards as well. So connecting with higher self collectively of pile 3 today. Please guide us to the right cards that will explain more about the situation that you want to talk to them about. What do they need to know most? Thank you, 5 cards. Okay, for sure, that one. And there's number 5. And let's unveil your tarot cards together. So to begin, pile 3, the start of the story, we have the High Priestess reversed. And now I call the very first card in my spread that I like to use the inciting incident, almost like you would hear in a story, right? an inciting incident with a high priestess reversed, pile 3, is your higher self is saying it's either something you're not listening to your own gut intuition about, or it's something you didn't listen to your gut intuition about in the past that perhaps you have some regrets about. So let's, of course, get more of the story here with the rest of the cards. Card number 2, we have the Knight of Swords, taking action with either our mind or with our communication, being swords are the element of air in tarot. Very interesting. Maybe it's something you'd wished you'd said, something you wished you'd thought of, or you had thought of it and you ignored it. Let's keep going. We'll keep seeing some other cards. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so Ten of Pentacles, pile 3. This is the heart of the matter I like to call the third card. Meaning it's almost like the core emotion or the core of what's going on here that your higher self wants to talk to you about. Excuse me for my voice today. And the Ten of Pentacles is sometimes about legacy. So passing things down or inheriting things can mean in a very literal way. It can mean inheritance as in like money inheritance and, keepsakes. I also sometimes see it as a completion of some sort of goal within career or finances, because it is 10 of Pentacles, and 10s tend to represent finality or the end of a journey of some sort, okay? Like 9s are almost there, 10 is bam, you're there, okay? So very interesting spread so far. We'll see what pops out to get more context, but okay, then we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. Lack of teamwork in some sort of area, especially with, once again, being Pentacles, career or finance, or material things. Could even be something to do with the body or something to do with the home. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. We've got 2 knights, but you got the Knight of Cups as the outcome, taking action with our feelings and with our heart. What a spread, pile 3. You got a very interesting spread today, especially because you have so many cards from different suits, except wands. You don't have any wands, so no fire, huh? And of course, we need to also look at your pile leader, which is funny because you see this pile 3. We'll look at your high priestess here. She's got almost like a moon diadem crown on her head. Well, guess who also has a moon on her head? Your pile leader. Yep, unveiling truth, unveiling, like I said, your gut intuition. Oh, that's right, she was reversed. So what is going on? Apologies for the pause here, pile 3, but I just want to be certain. Yeah, it's like you had some situation, as I said before, so I won't repeat the whole thing, but you didn't follow your gut when you should have. And your higher self wants to impart more information on this situation. Hence, like your pile leader, it's like unveiling. It's kind of fuzzy now, but then after this reading with the clarity they want to give you, it'll become clear, just like how the light is unveiling on her face here, and she's finally seeing the light after being stuck in shadow. Stuck in shadow, so that maybe you're kind of confused about something lately, you're kind of stuck in, like, metaphorical shadows, pile 3, and then it's something to do with a situation in your life where there's some sort of legacy or inheritance or like a passing down or completion of a project with material goods or like your home or like health, things like that. And I feel like you lack support too because of the Three of Pentacles reversed. It's like you lack support in this area. It almost kind of feels like you accomplished something, pile 3, and like nobody cheered. And so it's almost like you're wondering, like, well, was that really a good thing? Like, did I really achieve a good thing? Like, did I do the right thing? Maybe that's what it is, pile 3. And I'm sorry I'm kind of running around almost here like a squirrel, but like, you have your reading here is like a lot of layers. Like, like for some reason I'm thinking about the metaphor in Shrek. Like, onions have layers, right? You have a lot of layers. It's an onion reading, we'll call it that. It's like you doubt your gut intuition about have you like done the right thing, even though you technically got an accomplishment, because it's like nobody's supporting you. Nobody's supporting you, pile 3. Why? When you did this great thing, like this 10 of Pentacles, the completion of something, inheriting something, you did good, but you're doubting it, like the High Priestess reversed, meaning like not listening to your intuition. And so your higher self, like I said, wants to unveil the clouding around this. And then the Knight of Cups as the outcome, pile 3, taking action with the heart. I'm going to tell you this. We're going to see some other cards. We're going to look at your other oracle cards. But I want to tell you right now, the intuition I'm getting, pile 3, if you're doubting anything in the situation that you did, like, you know, oh, did I do the wrong thing? Did I make a mistake? No. If you followed your heart, you did the right thing. Even if it feels like nobody else applauded you for it. As long as you know in your heart you took action based on the right thing, the moral thing, what your heart told you to do, you weren't led wrong. Your heart guided you right. You're just doubting it like the High Priestess reversed as the inciting incident. Okay. God, why isn't anyone supporting you? And I almost feel like pile 3, if this is a job related thing, I know for some of you it might not be, there's an intuitive message I'm getting here where it almost feels like they're not supporting you because they're doing something like immoral on their end, almost. Like, it's like they're not supporting you because like either they're sour grapes, like they're all like jealous of an accomplishment that you made, or it's like there's some weird office politics thing going on, or like workplace politics thing going on as to why they're not. So don't take a lack of outside support as a sign that you did wrong or that you're on the wrong path, pile 3. That's another thing your higher self wants to say. What a fascinating reading. But you know deep down you did the right thing. So keep following your heart. And that's what it means with the outcome here is the Knight of Cups, is to keep following your heart. Even when other people don't support you, like the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so let's grab your oracle cards. Pile 3. God, that doesn't sound like a fun time though, pile 3. Like, man, especially getting like a 10 of Pentacles where it's like, oh, achievement, and then 3 of Pentacles right afterwards, like, oh, reversed. It's like, oh, no one's supporting me. It's like you did this grand thing and like nobody clapped. It's like, what the heck? Why aren't you clapping? Let's grab some Citadel Oracle cards, okay? I'm going to use this one, okay? And then let us grab your other oracle cards for today. We're using my favorite oracle card of all, well, I should say oracle deck, not card, of all time so far, Lantern Oracle. I almost wonder if you'll get the Trusting Tricksters card here. We'll see. We'll look at the Lantern Oracle later when we flip it over. But put a pin in it if I say Trusting Tricksters and that card comes up. You'll know that I predicted it. Anyways. Trusting Tricksters. Okay. So looking first at your Citadel Oracle cards. Now I have to kind of explain a little bit how I drew these. So oh, hey, there's actually 3. Wow. So I asked for the first card, or actually 2 it seems like, for your higher self to represent themselves as an archetype. And then this is to, the last one is to represent what they think you should act like, or your advice of what archetype they think that you should embody to help fix this situation or to process this situation better. So your higher self is, fire, the founder, foundations, and community. Okay. Laying foundations for things, supporting a group of people. And then we've got the smith with earth, overthinking and taking action. Yeah, that's like that overthinking I was talking about, because it's almost like you're sitting there wondering, well, did I do the right thing? And 2, I didn't say this before, pile 3, but the Knight of Swords can also represent somebody who maybe like takes action very quickly. So maybe people are like, oh, you did that too fast. Like, oh, you should have waited longer. Something along those lines, but it's like, you didn't need to overthink it. Interesting. So those are the 2 that your higher self represents themselves as. And then they said for you to be the sailor, we have earth again. New influences and wanderlust. Maybe moving away from the situation. Interesting. Let's look at your other cards too. Okay, did we get Trusting Tricksters? Drum roll, please. No, we did not. But we did get moving forward, pile 3. The first step is taken within our stillness. She's moving forward. Just like I said, like the sailor, like, I'm like, are you like moving away? Moving forward. And is she moving towards the ocean? It's hard to tell, but it does look more lush on the distance. It's either green or it's blue, so I can't tell if it's just foliage or if it's water, but connecting that with the symbolism of the waves around the sailor on the ocean. First step is taking within our stillness, and then your surrender card today is surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Okay, if there's anything you take away from this reading right now, pile 3, even if you click off or you just zone out right now, or after this point, you did the right thing. You're on the right path. You did what you were supposed to. You didn't make a mistake, even if it feels like you did or other people are saying that you did. Okay? Not only do you have, cards about, like, doubting yourself and, like, other people not supporting you, but you have advice cards about you're on the right path here. Like it says, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth and moving forward. It's like you're path making. You're where you're supposed to be. You did what you were supposed to do. I'm very curious, pile 3. If any of you do want to weigh down in the comments down below, like each of your particular situations, I'm curious because there's so many different situations that this could apply to, and I'm fascinated. But yeah, so it's like let's put this all together. So, I mean, of course, looking at, let's see, the Citadel Oracle for your pile leader, or I'm sorry, your higher self, not your pile leader. Yeah, we've got fire and earth. So the way that your higher self is embodying themselves right now is with the Founder and the Smith card. And just for context, for those of you that aren't familiar with the concept of higher self is like you at your best self, spiritually, without earthly things like ego. So you at your best self is like, right now, is saying, like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink these things. Take action. You're supposed to take action. Don't hesitate. And also, it's like, the Founder is interesting because the Founder is someone who finds something. They create something. They begin, like it says, foundations. They build the foundations for something, be it like a company, or it could be like, a neighborhood, city. It can be a new idea, a new invention, things like that. And so it's like your higher self is coming to you from the perspective of someone who wants to start something and wants to get something done. And I think that's the way that you were acting. You were acting in your higher self at that time, pile 3. You just doubted it afterwards because of what other people said or didn't say. So that's another reason you shouldn't doubt what you did, because you were acting at your highest self at that point. You were trying to get something done. You were trying to get something started. And once again, too, like they said, the Knight of Swords is like taking action quickly. The Knight of Swords is the fastest knight of all of the 4 of them. And the Smith is, taking action, repeatedly hammering that hammer. A Smith doesn't hesitate. They just keep doing the same thing. They hammer it down because they gotta, I won't go too much of an explanation because you guys know what a Smith is, right? But, and it's combining fire and earth. So passion with the material. You were following your heart, just like that Knight of Cups at the end here. So if you're doubting yourself, pile 3, please go back to the energy that you were doing at the time that you, like, in the future now, you doubt yourself looking back. But your higher self is saying, no, you were aligned with me at that time. That's the energy you should embody. Swift action. Decisive action. Trying to get something started. Because that is you at your best. And 2, like I said, this card right here, I asked your higher self, what archetype do you want pile 3 to embody? New influences and wanderlust explore. I almost think, like I was saying, pile 3, this might be a piece of advice, especially with moving forward here as the Lantern Oracle that came out for you. About maybe leaving whatever bad influence has made you doubt yourself behind. It could be yourself. It could be self-doubt talk. Your own self dragging yourself down, right? But it could also be other people. And I think, that tends to be what the Three of Pentacles reversed means, is lack of teamwork, especially in terms of career, but it can be anything that you've been working on where this is relevant, pile 3. Leave them behind. There might even be some jealousy here, like I was saying earlier. That's why I said I predict maybe the Trusting Tricksters card would come up, but then you got moving forward instead. I'm just gonna say it, and I don't say this lightly, pile 3, because, I don't want to stroke ego, but what your higher self is saying is you're too good for these people, or this place. You're too good. Why would you ever doubt yourself? You're too good. And I think that part of it is maybe why you didn't have the support you wanted or needed. The applause, maybe. If it was something you really did well with that Ten of Pentacles, is the heart of the matter. There's a saying my mom always says, the envious come with erasers. That's what she says. The envious come with erasers. I think for some of you, there might be an element of jealousy as to why people weren't supporting you. And that's why your higher self is saying you're too good for this. Move forward. Leave them behind. Leave them in the dust. Even look at this. She's in a desert. Leave them in the dust. If they want to fester and lie fallow in their desert of creativity, in their desert of integrity, let them. Leave them in the dust. Move to someplace better. Because you're on the right path, pile 3. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Yeah. So it's kind of a pep talk reading, really, is what it is, pile 3. If I had to summarize everything so far, your higher self is being like, why are you doubting yourself? Why are you listening to these dummies? Or maybe even if it is self-doubt talk, why are you listening to the dummy part of your brain that thinks you're not good enough? But I think there might be, like I said, outside influence here with the Three of Pentacles, right? And that's the unveiling, like your pile leader says. It's like you being mired in this cloud of doubt, and then them unveiling and pulling the curtain back and showing you the light of, no. You pulled it off, you did good. Also, there's an element here, too. If you had been looking for, applause or people to praise you, pile 3, your higher self is doing that for you right now. They're patting you on the back. They're saying, good job. Which is, it's kind of self-evident, but I thought I'd mention it, especially if, you are lacking some support, right? It's good to hear. And keep following your heart. Keep following what your heart tells you. Keep following what your intuition tells you. Do not doubt your intuition, because that's what caused this problem in the first place, was that High Priestess reversed, is you're doubting your intuition. And like I said, it's funny how she's got the moon crown or diadem on her forehead, and then your piloter had the moon on her forehead too. Kind of, she's got it on the crown of her head, so that makes me think of crown chakra, but your piloter has it on her third eye, right? Intuition. Seeing things, third eye. It's like other people try to put the clouds or the curtain around you, and your higher self is trying to peel that curtain or the clouds back, showing you the light. There's even a lot of imagery, too, of light in this particular reading. We have the radiant sun behind the sailor. We've got the sun up in the sky over the founder, the city in the founder card. We also have her following the light here in the moving forward card. Even a little bit in your surrender card. It's kind of dark over here, and it's light up in this top left corner. Following the light. Which makes me think, light means truth. It means purity. It means integrity. So keep following that light. Follow your own North Star is, I guess, a little bit of a cliche saying, but it fits in this reading, right? Don't follow what those other people said or didn't say. Follow your heart and the light instead, and that will never lead you wrong. What a beautiful reading, pile 3. So I hope it brought you some comfort. I hope it brought you some reassurance is the word I want to use, because your higher self is saying, yeah, don't leave them in the dust. You're better than that, right? Things like that. So yeah, I hope you liked the reading. I hope it resonated. I hope, what do I always say? I forgot my little ending script. Well, anyways, I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day with more pats on the back. Okay? Especially from your higher self, right? And me too. Good job, pile 3. If no one else is not going to clap for you, I'll clap for you as well as your higher self. So good job. And yes, I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.